Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, August 30th, 2021. This is live stream number 690. Zoinks! This is your first time joining me, let me point out, it's very, very casual. We're just hanging out, having fun, talking about the latest in tabletop games. And we always try to take a look at one as well. And tonight, after the latest in tabletop gaming news, I'll be unboxing and taking a first look at Soviet Dawn. This is the deluxe edition, which just came out from Worthington Publishing. So we'll be taking a look at this in just a little bit. But, of course, we do start off with the latest in tabletop gaming news. So, of course, do also want to mention, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live right here on YouTube, it'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of the Swords and Wizardry Complete box set. So this review will be up tomorrow morning. It is in the can. It is uploaded. It is good to go. Just gotta click a little button and up it goes. So that is on the horizon. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Do also want to point out, if you just hang out and watch the show all the time and never visit thegaminggang.com, you are missing out on a lot, because Sammy Juhas is one of my reviewers, and she reviews a lot of role-playing game PDFs. So today, I shared her review of Junker's Delight for Starfinder from Paizo Inc. She also recently reviewed the Fallout role-playing game from Modiphius Entertainment that a lot of people were pumped about. So from time to time, you should definitely check out thegaminggang.com. Of course, I do want to mention, because this is a live stream, that also means that chat's available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. So first out the gate tonight is the Madman. Good to see ya. The Motor City Madman has arrived. A very good friend of the Gaming Gang, and also one of our chat moderators. Sarah D is hanging out. So that usually means Mr. Eddie T can't be far behind. John Vogel has tuned in. So it was kind of funny, because the Madman was the only person, okay, except for Nicholas Stanishek, who cheated. He commented earlier that he wasn't going to be able to catch the show. So he doesn't count as first out the gate. It's the Madman. Sweet. Very cool. So once again, if you are joining me for the first time because you want to check out the unboxing of Soviet Dawn, if you're watching live, kick back, relax. We'll get through the news and then jump on into that. If you're watching after the fact, there will be timestamps. So you can, if you don't want to check out the latest in tabletop gaming news, click on the timestamp, jump straight ahead. So speaking of tabletop gaming news, just in time for Halloween comes Boo Hollow Pumpkin Showdown from Funko Games. Here's the skinny. A fun, fast-paced card game featuring these spooky, cute characters from Funko's Boo Hollow. Play pumpkin cards to throw pumpkins at the other players, but watch out. They can play cards right back. Roll the special die to grab more pumpkins, or dodge out of the way at the last second. Whoever gets hit with more pumpkins takes a hit card. Get 3 hit times. I should say get hit 3 times. And you're out. You're out of there. Who will be the last one standing? The game is based on the Boo Hollow line of mystery figures by Funko. Each card features a spooky, cute Boo Hollow character. It's a silly, fast-paced game. Plays out in about 20 minutes. Even if you're out of cards, roll the pumpkin die for a chance to save the day. Play with your whole family, up to 6 players. And it's perfect for any spooky celebration, especially Halloween. Boo Hollow Pumpkin Showdown is for 3 to 6 players, ages 6 and up. Plays in around 20 minutes. It does carry an MSRP of $6.99. I have conflicting information about this. For one, I found conflicting MSRP information, but I'll take the MSRP that Funko shares as opposed to this one online store where it was $1 more. But I have also seen where some stores are claiming this is in stock, and I've seen other places saying that this is on pre-order. So I don't know. But I do know it'll be out before Halloween. So Boris is in chat with us. Clint Gibson has joined us. We got a nice chat up and running on a Monday evening here. So arriving in October from Board and Dice is Tekhenu, Time of Seth. Here's the dope. With the power and splendor of Egypt increasing, its influence now reaches far beyond its borders. Seth, the god of conflict, demands that you subdue Canaan and wage war on the mighty Hittite Empire. Your soldiers are to march on any land that dares defy you or pose a threat to your kingdom. It's time to muster your armies, gather your priests, claim mighty artifacts, and secure the favor of a powerful cult to pave your way into even greater victories. Tekhenu, Time of Seth, adds new layers of interaction and new options to Tekhenu, Obelisk of the Sun. A new board opens up options of conquering neighboring lands to receive in-game benefits, as well as new scoring opportunities. New dice allow for mustering soldiers and gathering priests. However, conquest comes with a price, as with more battles fought, balancing one's deeds becomes more complicated than before. Apart from soldiers needed to take control of lands beyond the borders of Egypt, players also gather priests that allow them to take control of artifacts. These new cards offer new and nuanced ways of planning turns, combining strategic plays and scoring victory points. This expansion also contains advanced rules specifically designed to enhance the 2-player experience. Tekhenu, Time of Seth, is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 1 to 2 hours. It's going to carry an MSRP of $35, and of course, you will need the core game in order to play the expansion. No. I have to say, Board and Dice make some pretty hefty Euro games, and they're all kind of ancient history focused. Well, I shouldn't say all. That's kind of a blanket statement I probably shouldn't use. Many of them have an ancient history kind of aspect to them. That's their themes. And I want to say like the Aztec Empire is like a big favorite. But then again, I think, gosh, off the top of my head, I think the designer's name is David Turksey. Does a lot of their games. So, pretty sweet. So, if you enjoy Tekenu, Obelisk of the Sun, then keep your eyes peeled because you will have a new expansion which is going to be arriving in October. So Kringle has joined us. Good to see you, Kringle. Thanks for stopping on in. So Kringle says this is the only place they get to learn about new board games. It's nice to have RPGs and board games at the same place. Reason why I do that is because I enjoy both. Plain and simple. So that was the discussion that my best friend Elliot Miller and I had when we first started the gaming gang almost 12 years ago. And right away, we both agreed we were going to have role-playing games and board games. So we were big fans of both and played tons of role-playing games over the years. All right, so I'll be honest. I probably like role-playing games more than I do board games. Shh, don't say anything. But not by much. But if it was a toss-up between playing a board game and actually playing, not running. Now, I didn't say game mastering because I'm like the forever game master. But if it was a choice between playing a board game and playing in a role-playing game where we had a good GM, I'm probably going with the role-playing game. It's just me. Just me. Kevin R. Smith has joined us as well. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Monday night. So anyway, speaking of role-playing games, let's talk about one because there is a new Kickstarter for a 5e supplement. It's rocking and rolling for author William Martin. Here's the scoop on Peculiar Discoveries. With over 200 pages of new content for 5e, Peculiar Discoveries brings 320 plus new items and companions designed to bring fun and joy directly to your table. This supplement focuses on creativity and quality content for both players and GMs to enjoy. Enrich your story and background with strange pets and hundreds of fantastical new magic items to discover. Companions are a huge part of this project. We've created 2 special decks for them, one for classic companions, one for awakened items. Each small companion has minor powers and offers benefits to the party, adding a touch of fantasy and poetry to your stories. They can follow players during their adventures, become colorful NPCs, and much more. Each comes with their own unique quest and will give a bonus to players, but only if they help their new little friend. All of these items come in a wide range of rarity and powers when we're talking about the magic items, from common to legendary to suit every party's level, from level 1 to level 20. When the time comes to get the loot, you can choose specific items or let the players pick one randomly. Let fate guide your players to find the most prestigious treasures. I don't think I personally would be doing that. That's just me. We've also implemented a system of item sets which unlock their true power once all parts of the set have been collected. It's kind of a video game-ish aspect to it there. There is a short Kickstarter video, runs about 2 minutes. So let's get a better feel for Peculiar Discoveries.
5e is all about adventure, and the best ones take players into extraordinary discoveries. Introducing Peculiar Discoveries, a 5e supplement focusing on adorable companions and creative items for both players and DMs to enjoy. With over 200 pages of new content and more than 320 items and companions, Peculiar Discoveries will bring newfound joy and a change of scenery to your table. Companions. These creatures can soften the mood in even the gloomiest adventure and provide unexpected friendships to flourish in your games. Each companion comes with a secret quest. When fulfilled, will grant a bonus to your players. Meet Armand the Dragon Fruit, who is looking for a cure to the mysterious disease afflicting his beloved father tree. Magic items. All the items are sorted by theme, each of which have their own featured powers to help create a unique atmosphere. No matter what the situation, you'll always be able to find the right loot to fit your story. Will your party collect the brutal items of the orcs or the graceful items of the elves? We will also be adding exclusive new mechanics such as celestial items, which only unlock their true potential after defeating hordes of vile creatures. On the contrary, demonic items are particularly powerful, but often come with sinister side effects. We have also implemented a system of item sets which unlock their true power once all parts of the set have been collected. Find all of this and much more in Peculiar Discoveries. Back the project today.
All righty then. Yeah, it's kind of funny that video just ends so abruptly. I was looking away. I was like, oh, no, the video's over. Oh, wait, hang on. The project for Peculiar Discoveries is past the 200% funding level, and you can reserve a copy of the hardcover for a $46 pledge, or if you'd just like to score the PDF, you can get that for a $19 pledge through September 23rd. Expected delivery of both digital and physical items is next February. Gotta say, I think the artwork looks pretty nice with this. I know a lot of people completely dig books that are full of magic items. Of course, we also have the companions as well. Let's not forget those. So Flaming Heron has joined us. Good to see Flaming Heron. They point out unique items. Call me interested. All righty. So this does look pretty good. This does look pretty interesting. So we shall see. I have heard from the author who had shared this news with me that they will send a review copy once it comes out next February. So, of course, you know, I never expected deliveries next February. You never know. So, gotta say, this looks pretty good. And of course, you can utilize it for 5e. So I have to laugh because I tend when I run role-playing games, I tend to have NPCs that kind of come and go. So for whatever reasons, and I was running a fantasy game. All right, so I was running my own homebrew concoction that's like an OSR game, and the my nephew and his girlfriend and his other friend, they were like that was the party, and they met this talking cat. It wasn't exactly a cat, but it was a talking cat. And the funny thing is, I gave him a voice like this, so he always talked like this, and then he would kind of channel. He would always he kind of channeled like Snagglepuss, the cartoon character. So he'd be sitting there, he'd be like, "Oh, we better exit stage left." I don't know. I know I'm weird. All right, so Clint Gibson says they're ready for fall. No. I don't like cold weather. Never like cold weather. All right, moving right along. Those Who Wander is now available for 5e. It is from Gnome Made Games. And here's the skinny. Those Who Wander is a dynamic 5e alternate fantasy tabletop game system distinct for its exponentially growing character paths, diverse and versatile parentages, enigmatic. Enigmatic. Jeez, what is with me today? And awakening heirlooms, mechanically defining character backgrounds, and more. The game's name comes from the popular line, "Not all those who wander are lost," originally penned by J.R.R. Tolkien. In more ways than one, "Those Who Wander" epitomizes the journey made by numberless steps. Each step is a decision, left or right, and each decision leaves its mark on you. No matter where you wander, we hope you feel at home all along the way. In "Those Who Wander," you first choose your character's two birth parents. Any pairing is fine, with storytelling permission. Maybe your parents were both simple human peasants. Then again, maybe one was a fiend and the other was an orc. You decide. Everything you inherit from your parents is innate. The learned traits come later. Parentages include draconic, dwarven, elven, gnomish, halfling, human, infernal, orc, and more. Next, you choose a background which represents your life experiences, upbringing, and choices made leading up to your adventuring career. Each background has plenty of mechanical weight to it, since it includes what you know, what you're good at, and most of what you carry with you. Some families pass down a weapon, a suit of armor, a ring, or some other heirloom from parent to child for generations. Some characters simply pick up a bauble that seems significant to them, even if it's worthless to others. These are heirlooms, seemingly mundane objects that grow in power over time. They even have a personality buried deep within that slowly reveals itself to the right person who takes the time to forge a connection with it. One of the design goals for "Those Who Wander" is to free up the storyteller's time by having them roll less often. Storytellers begin battles by choosing one from among 4 combat orders. That just doesn't come out right, but that's how it's written. Depending on how the encounter begins, turns proceed accordingly. No longer do you narrate your way up to a climactic battle, only to pause, roll, and record the results before the action begins. Another way we've freed the storyteller's focus by having players roll defense checks instead of the storyteller rolling creatures' attacks. Spotlight brightly shines on characters, and the storyteller is free to narrate. We think these changes will make for exciting, seamless combat. There's actually quite a bit more to this because this book clocks in at 475 pages. You did hear me correctly. So, this hardcover is available over at Drive-Thru RPG for $49.95, or you can get the PDF of "Those Who Wander" for $29.95. This seems pretty in depth. And the funny thing is, it's a 5e alternate. So I got to be honest, not having seen the actual mechanics of this game, I don't necessarily know if this utilizes 5e, if this is open game license or not. Drive-Thru RPG kind of indicates that it is, but that doesn't mean that it is, because Drive-Thru RPG can be incorrect in categorizing things all the time. Viper Dave is with us. Good to see you, Viper Dave. Thanks for popping on in. So Clint Gibson says there's less work in the fall. That's why he's ready for it. Okay, that I would understand. I get it there. All right, my final news piece. There is a very interesting looking new RPG that's also available at Drive-Thru RPG. It's from Hero Forge Games, and it's called Onyx Sky. Here's what I know. Onyx Sky explores our world after a devastating global war and environmental collapse that plunges humanity back into the Stone Age. In Onyx Sky, players create characters who've been safe inside a military bunker, government facility, fallout shelter, or scientific vault. Oh, so are you saying, that they're vault dwellers by some chance? After decades hidden away, they emerge from their haven. They find a world in ruin, its communities struggling to endure against roaming marauders, autonomous battle droids, and metal eating nanites. The player's characters, armed with contemporary knowledge and ideals, are thrust into a world in technological and cultural free fall. Onyx Sky, from the Emmy Award winning designer of Hero Kids, Forge Engine, and Heroes Against Darkness, is an all in one RPG. Everything you need to play a campaign, player content, game rules, GM guidance, campaign guide, and adversaries are all included. It's got a relatable future. Onyx Sky's post apocalyptic setting is a possible future, grounded, plausible, and terrifying. Includes over 100 full color illustrations, it's tightly written and jam packed with gameable content. Onyx Sky includes the game rules, which cover character creation and development, attributes, tests, skills, exploration, combat, downtime, and travel. Everything players need to create, develop, and run their characters, traits, general skills, martial skills, and equipment. There's instructions for game mastering, Onyx Sky campaigns, and it also includes 28 adversary templates for grunts, strikers, tanks, and commanders. All of this is included in the free PDF version of Onyx Sky, which is ideal to share with players to create characters and familiarize themselves with the game system. You can grab the free edition at Drive-Thru RPG, while the 183-page deluxe edition can be had for $14.99. Gotta say, this looks pretty interesting. I did review Hero Kids, and that was a cool RPG. This is not aimed at kids, so this looks very cool. And the funny thing is, when we talk like post-apocalyptic settings, and of course, even in the sell sheet info about this RPG, they talk about, vault dwellers. Okay, I said dwellers, but living in a vault, scientific vault. Personally, I am always looking for something that I could plug the old, and I don't know how many of you out there remember this role-playing game, but and I'm not talking Twilight 2000. I'm talking Morrow Project, baby. I don't know if folks out there remember Morrow Project. Morrow Project probably had the most, maybe not, I wouldn't say complex, but it had a really, really robust ballistics system for firearms. You could take like any firearm out there in the real world and actually figure out what its game stats would be. But the rest of it just, there was no game there. Now I know I think they had a 4th edition of it. And I think now it's more of a full-fledged role-playing game. But back in the day when we played, it was kind of like Boot Hill was, where Boot Hill had like all the combat rules, but there really wasn't any role-playing rules in it. Anyway, this looks kind of cool, and it's free. You can check out the free PDF. It's absolutely free over at Drive-Thru RPG. All right, that is it for tonight's news. Of course, I was just talking about Drive-Thru RPG. Keep in mind, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to go visit Drive-Thru RPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banners. That way, if you do make a purchase over at Drive-Thru RPG, I get a little portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do help keep the Gaming Gang around. So I see Omenal's with us. Cool deal. Nice. Crinkle says, no mutants. Ain't no mutants in this game. What's going on with this Onyx Sky? I think, I'm not positive, but I think that this post-apocalyptic game is not supposed to be set a long time after the collapse. I think it's supposed to be set a few years afterwards. I'm not positive. I have not looked at it. but I did run across this and thought it looked cool. So maybe that's why there's no mutants, because there hasn't been enough time for mutations to take hold. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we are going to be jumping into the unboxing and first look at Soviet Dawn, the Deluxe Edition from Worthington Publishing in just a moment. But I want to share the latest wave in the Gaming Gang auction. I have somebody, I don't know if they want me to say who it is. So a friend of the Gaming Gang is providing the opportunity to auction off the entire lineup of Adventures in Middle Earth from Cubicle 7 Entertainment. You can see it right there. And these are all out of print. They are never going to be printed again because, of course, those of you who follow, Lord of the Ring role-playing games and stuff. All right, so the Madman says it's fine. Okay, so it's from the Madman. To help out the Gaming Gang, he's providing these items for auction. So there we go. Now you know. It's not like it. The Madman's like, it's fine. I won't reveal his real name, though. You don't do that to Batman. You don't do that to Madman either. Anyway, so these are all supposed to be in excellent condition, and it is available as a complete set. I'm not doing an auction where it's all a bunch of different, oh, pick this one, pick that one. I will point out, and now I will be the first to admit, I am not the most well-versed in Adventures in Middle Earth because I didn't get an opportunity to review everything for it. It was very piecemeal. I got the region books, really. If I remember right, I think I had the player's guide. Some of these books actually are going for over $200 each. So it is available. Opening bid is $600. Gotta point out it's $600. So Flaming Heron says, so his name isn't the Motor City Madman. No, it is not. It's not Ted Nugent either. In case you were wondering, you might have been thinking that. So very cool. I thought that was very, very nice. So Clint Gibbs is like, it's auction time. Yeah, I took a week off from doing the auctions. I will have another auction week next week. And of course, it'll have various games, but I wanted to devote the attention to this really cool collection that somebody's going to get their hands on. It's going to be pretty sweet. So, Omenal's asking, did I find a mule for Gen Con? I have not. I have not found. If you're referring to how am I going to transport the games and stuff back? No, I don't. I don't know yet. Yes. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to ship things back. But then what happens is, let me grab a quick sip here. What will happen is that a lot of times companies will say, hey, do us a favor. Oh, for the camera equipment and stuff? Oh, I'm going I've picked up some stuff. Like now I've got wireless lavalier mics, like lapel mics. I'm not lugging around a big, heavy audio cable and nonsense like that. So it's all fitting in a backpack. So that's not a problem. So it's review copies of stuff that I'm kind of concerned with. So it's like, because sometimes companies will ask you, hey, do us a favor, come back Sunday. If we still have a copy, we'll give you a review copy. If not, we'll just send you one. And I will not have any way to ship something back on Sunday. Usually at Gen Con, they will have, I don't know, I can't remember if it's FedEx or UPS. They'll be set up for people to send stuff back. Because I'm flying in, even though it's only like a 2.5 hour drive. I'm treating myself. I'm flying in and hanging out at the Crown Plaza. So if anybody's going to Gen Con and you would like to hang out, maybe have an adult beverage, let me know. Reach out. All righty then. Oh, before we jump in, do want to mention what's coming up on Wednesday's show. I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to review Secrets of Magic for Pathfinder on Wednesday's show. I normally don't do reviews on the live show anymore, but I think it might bring in some new viewers, might bring in some new folks to the show. So I am going to do a review of this, and its street date is supposed to be September 1st, which I thought is odd because normally game releases come out on Tuesdays. So I don't know. I have no idea. So Flaming Heron says they'd like to get an adult beverage. Maybe once the pandemic is over, they might be able to get overseas. Yeah, I know. I know. Boy, I tell you. It's such a bummer. Man, it's such a bummer. All right. So there is some discussion about how well the Middle Earth releases, because even the One Ring was excellent. Personally, just me, I like it was all the same though. They just ported stuff over from the One Ring to Adventures in Middle Earth. Not like I'm not saying that wasn't great stuff. I personally liked the One Ring releases, even though they were the same exact thing. The One Ring is just such a less crunchy role-playing game. And I know 5e for some people is not crunchy at all if you're coming from like GURPS. I love GURPS. No thanks. Too many rules. No thank you. No thank you. But yeah, it was excellent. Really, really good stuff. They knew their Tolkien. That is for sure. All right. So tonight I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Soviet Dawn Deluxe Edition from Worthington Publishing. It's designed by Darren Leveloff with artwork provided by Sean Cook. This game is a solitaire game. It is for ages 14 and up, plays in 25 to 60 minutes, does carry an MSRP of $75. And I will talk about that MSRP as we take a peek at Soviet Dawn. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, that was kind of a weird little like hiccup when I switched over to camera, but I know why. But I was like, oh, I didn't like that little jump. Anyway, this was originally released through Victory Point Games back when all their stuff was kind of desktop published. So it came in a Ziploc bag and it was pretty small. So this ain't. There are quite a few Victory Point Game war games that are going to be released by Worthington Publishing. Pretty sweet. Pretty cool. I know Malta, that Scorpion of the Sea from Steve Carey. I'm not sure if that hit Kickstarter or not. So the folks over at Worthington are very nice. But the odd thing is they'll send me stuff, but they don't shoot me info about like new game releases. So this showed up out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay. Thanks. I'm like, sweet. All right, let's crack this on. Oh, well, should we look at the back? Yeah, let's look at the back. So Boris says, oh, that's $94.57 in Canada. Okay, so we know the MSRP on Worthington Publishing titles is wonky. I'll try to be nice about it. You can usually find just about every one of their releases from an online retailer, and it's usually about 20 bucks less. So keep that in mind. That is the case for Soviet Dawn. I'm not going to tell you where to go or anything like that. But if $75 is a big chunk, which in my opinion for a solitaire war game, it kind of is, you can go to some online retailers that are going to have it for about $20 less. Soviet Dawn Deluxe Edition brings Darren Leveloff's game system back for a much larger storytelling adventure covering the Russian Civil War from 1918 to 1921. With several enemy fronts converging on Moscow, the fate of the revolution and the prestige of international communism rests on your ability to manage and resolve every crisis that they can assail you with. Can you deal with the great crises of that time and defend the revolution? Will you withdraw from the Great War or exercise the Bukharin option and fight on? Can you execute the Tsar in time, or will the Whites rescue him? Will you fortify Petrograd or press your offenses home? How will you deal with internal and external dissent? Play Soviet Dawn and see. Gotta say, this box has some serious heft to it. So first off, let's take the rule book out. Look at that. We've got a little score sheet. Take a look at that. We got a pad of those. Kind of cool. Box top insert. That's pretty nice. I like that. It's got a classy. It's got some class to it. All right. Yes. Hello, Mr. Lennon. How are you? Jumping on in. So, if you have followed the Gaming Gang for quite a while, maybe even since the beginning, you know that both Elliot and I reviewed tons of Victory Point Games releases. I have never played this. So Omanal says, so you play as the Bolsheviks? Yes, you do. You are a communist in this game. All right, so we've got a sequence of play, the event cards. So this was one of the States of Siege games, which are almost like historical tower defense games. So we've got a variety of player actions here. So if this is like most States of Siege games, it's probably going to be the situation where you've got all these different things you want to do, but you just don't have action points to do them. So we've got Red Army marker explanations. The Finnish front, the Allies front, the Baltic front, Poland, Southern front, and the Eastern front. Those are a lot of fronts to be concerned with. Right, so it looks like we've got some explanations of the various cards, these action cards. Got expansion rules, optional expansion rules. As this little flying bug is zipping around. It's like, all right, what are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of here, bug. And then we've got a historical look. We have designer notes. No, it looks like it's more along the lines of just kind of discussing the historical aspects of the game. But I always dig this stuff. I always dig this stuff a lot. Cool. And I'll take a guess that these rules are going to be much clearer than those that were in the original Victory Point Games edition. Because it was funny, Victory Point Games had a limit on a lot of different things. So they had a limit on how many pages of rules could you have. It was kind of funny. So Clint Gibson says bugs die in the fall too. Not around here, they don't. It's got to get mighty cold before the bugs start dying in the duct tape studios. All right, so we've got a pad of score cards. So dual-sided, that's pretty nice. I like that. We've got some punch boards. Let's see what we got here. How many we got? Oh, just one. Just one. Of course, we had a mounted board, so that's pretty cool. So here is the punch board. You know what? Let's get a little closer look here. Let's see what we got here. All right, focus. I think looks like we're in focus. Looks like we're okay. Just kind of giving you a peek at all of these. Gotta say, it's pretty colorful. These counters have some pop to them. They are dual-sided. Kolchak, the Night Stalker. What? Sweet. All right, so now we got the board. It is not a huge board, so we will be able to fit this into the shot. Or most of it into the shot, at least. Box top's kind of blocking some light. So, okay, so if you are not familiar with the States of Siege game, so what's happening is that usually you will have the markers like all the way to the end, and events and things like that will move them closer. And usually, if any of the various opponents reach your home area, so in this case it's Moscow, then you lose. So we've got Red Army Reorganization, got Tsar Executed, in Captivity, Liberated. So we've got the different fronts here. So here's the Eastern, the Southern, Poland, the Baltic, Finland, and the Allies up here. Cool. Looks pretty cool. I like the look of this. This is very, very nice. So now we've got a little storage tray. We've got some baggies for our tokens. We've got standees, which must be for these up here. That is my guess. So quite a few of those in here in this pack. 6-sided die as well. Do you want me to zoom in on that for you? All right, and then we got our deck of cards. So what we will do is we're actually going to zoom in on the deck. Get a little closer in here. All right. Oh, yes. Got to get the hobby knife. Time to grab the hobby knife. So this is a card-driven game in some respects. All right. So a lot of cards. Let's take a look. I think it's still going to just be one deck. It is one deck. And these have a linen finish. So hopefully everybody can see all right. See, one of the reasons why I wanted to switch to the Sony is, of course, the Panasonic I'm waving at you from is a really cool camera, but the autofocus sucks. Where the Sony, and this isn't a super expensive Sony camera, I think this was $600. At least the autofocus works. It's not the fastest autofocus, but not bad. It's all right. So I kind of wanted to just change things up. All right, so let's see what we got. Generals form a volunteer army. Finnish Civil War breaks out. So you see where it's showing like advanced Finland and Baltic. That's how the States of Siege games would work. So you would have your token up here in Finland, would start, get closer. It's going to get closer. So that's how that basically would work. I'm taking a stab in the dark. Now, I might be wrong, but I'm going to take a guess. These are probably the number of action points you get to utilize that round. No war, no peace proclaimed. Hoffman offensive launched. German Baltic Division lands in Finland. Treaty of Brest signed. General Kornilov killed leading attack. German Baku in Ukraine. Hungary Spring. Kulaks threatened. Minorities from breakaway republics. So I like the artwork. I think these cards look really nice. Czech Legion revolts. Ottoman seize Caucasus. Don Cossacks attack. Wasn't Don Cossack the guy who did? I was going to do a joke, and then I couldn't remember the name of the music show. Don Kirshner's. What the hell was it? Rock? I can't remember. It was Don Kirshner's. Came on after Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. So somebody out there is going to remember it. Japan seizes Siberia. Counter-revolutionary government formed. Soviet economics. Midnight Special. No, it wasn't Midnight Special. I don't think it was. Don Kirshner's Midnight Special. I don't know. And it was funny because the announcer had a voice like that. Don Kirshner's Midnight Special with guests. It's like, how did you become like a announcer? Red Terror. U.S. launches polar bear expedition. Friedrich Karl abdicates the throne. Stalin defeats whites at Red Verdun. German capitulation. The Great War ends. Kolchak catches ghost. No, I'm kidding. Appoints himself admiral. Latvian riflemen support Red Cause. Jazzy conference reveals disunity. I know it's probably just say, like jazzy, yeah, baby. French forces occupy Odessa. Polish national uprising. Not even going to try to pronounce that name. Advances boldly. That's it. Thank you, Kevin. It's Don Kirshner's rock concert. And that's how because it was funny. Because, I was a kid. But even as a kid, I got to watch, Saturday Night Live. And it was after Saturday Night Live, it would be this music show. And it was never bands that I knew. Of course, I was like, I don't know, like 10. But I always remember that. Don Kirshner's rock concert. Thank you, Kevin. All right, Baltic forces rife with Russian-led Germans. Denikin unstoppable. So you notice how we have, it looks like the most is 4 for the numbers up here. Then this says like C rule. So this says C rule. I can barely make that out. 10.1.3. Yeah, this says the same thing there too. Critical shortages hindering red efforts. Trotsky leads red. Saves Petrograd. Wouldn't it be leads reds? There's Kolchak again. First Red Cavalry Corps rides to victory. Anti-Semitic pogroms. Trotsky introduces political commissars. Curzon establishes line as Polish border. Nice. So you've got all these different historical events taking place during the game. We'll mention that this flavor text is pretty small. It is pretty small. White's fleet to fortify Crimean Peninsula. Baron Wrangel seizes the initiative. Red Cossack Karnarmia formed, and then Poles break through and counteroffensive. So those are the cards. So we got all of these cards. As you can see, we've got our draw pile, and then we've got an event pile. So we might have like active events going on that would go over there. All right. So we've got the deck of cards, we've got the standees, we got the die, we've got the baggies. That's kind of funny. There's no insert on the bottom. Insert on the top of the box. I guess maybe that's when you're playing it at a convention so you can stand it up. So Madman says, now I need to find where I can catch the Kolchak episodes. I remember watching those. A couple of freaked me out as a kid. Yeah, Darren McGavin, I always liked him. So, yes, and Kolchak took place in Chicago. Well, of course, the original movie took place in Seattle. Or was it Vegas? One of the movies took place in Seattle. The other one took place in Vegas. And then the series, which, let's be honest, wasn't that good. It was set in Chicago. The only good thing about the series was him. And some of the episodes were pretty good, and then they got really silly. All right, so we have the cool mounted board. We've got the counters, the punch board there. We've got the pad of score sheets, as well as the rules. And that's what we find when we take everything from the deluxe edition of Soviet Dawn outside the box. I will have a review of Soviet Dawn in the very near future as well. So Clint Gibson says that Kolchak is on Amazon Prime. Sweet. All righty. So, as I said, I'll have a review in the very near future. So we dodged the bullet with the freezing camera tonight because I made sure that I had all the same cables, all the same capture devices set to the cameras that they had been set with before. So, because I think that was the problem, where twice we had this camera, the capture device froze because I could still see in my little flip screen that it was still doing a feed, but it would be like for the stream. So thankfully, we've gotten through that. And if it doesn't now, it's okay, because the show's over. I could say, yeah, just sit here like and just do the voiceover for the final couple of minutes. All right, hey. See what's going on in chat. So funny. I haven't thought of Don Kushner's rock concert since I was probably in high school. It's weird. It's weird. Weird how you remember stuff like that. But it's kind of funny because I couldn't remember the title of the show. I remember it was Don Kushner. All righty then. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the dispatch airs live right here on YouTube, I'll also tell you when I upload other videos, such as tomorrow morning's review of the Swords and Wizardry Complete box set from Frog God Games. So you'll have to see what was going on. Doug Roberts was lurking today, saying hello in chat. Good to see you, Doug. Thanks for hanging out and watching. So on Wednesday's show, well, I should say, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest news, reviews, and more. Come on, you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. On Wednesday's show, On Wednesday's show, I will be reviewing Secrets of Magic from Paizo Inc. for Pathfinder. I will also be doing some giveaways. See if you hung out for the whole show? Now you get to learn about this. So I have 3 things that I'm going to be giving away. I am going to be giving away, and I know it's kind of weird because I'm going to be doing a Pathfinder review, but I'm going to give away some Starfinder stuff mainly. So I'm going to give away a copy of the Galaxy Exploration Manual for Starfinder, as well as a copy of Horizons of the Vast Planetfall. This is the first chapter in an all-new adventure path for Starfinder. And then Strength of Thousands, Kindred Magic, which is for Pathfinder. Once again, this is also the first chapter of a brand new adventure path. So I will be giving these 3 items away. But you got to watch to win. Got to watch to win. And I think what I'll be doing is I will probably do my oddball Jeff's trivia thing again. So if you actually pay attention to the show, you should know the answer. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. 245 Trioxin popped in right at the end. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. In case you might have been lurking as well. Anyway, I will be back on Wednesday, so I guess I'll see you next month. But of course, just want to say to everybody who watched live, thank you very much. Always appreciate you hanging out, keeping me company. Then again, there's also some folks out there, they don't have an opportunity to watch live. They watch after the fact. Maybe you're even watching on Memorex. Thank you as well. I appreciate anybody taking time out to watch this goofball. Just, pontificating. So I will be back on Wednesday. And of course, until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you enjoy lots of great gaming with your very own gang. Oh, you're still here. Well, while you're kicking it, how about subscribing to the Gaming Gang channel? Or seeing the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch? Or finding out what YouTube recommends you check out here at my channel? And of course, don't forget, get your geek on at thegaminggang.com.